Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're doing well and you're having a great weekend so far. Today I wanted to talk about how to cope at university during COVID-19. Not so much from a mental health point of view, as this is something I'm completely out of my depth of and do not know enough about, but more how to cope with the workload. Tips on how to become more efficient with your time and how to cope with new assessment methods implemented by different universities. So without further ado, let's jump into my 5 top tips about how to cope at university during COVID-19. Tip number 1 is to experiment with pre-recorded lectures. COVID-19 has brought a lot of change to university life, one of which has been the recording and publishing of lectures online, which was simply just not done before, for fear that students wouldn't turn up to the in-person sessions. Now immediately this sounded appealing. Well, it did to me anyway, because it gave me more flexibility over my day. It meant I didn't have to trudge into the middle of university to go somewhere. I didn't have to deal with the inconveniences of, say, people being late, or it starting late, or whatever, getting back after the end of the lecture and just taking up chunks of my day. You'd think the new approach would be a lot faster. However, as you have the power to go back and rewind and look at any points the lecturer has made again, it can actually take you longer to get through each university topic because you just keep going back over the same thing. There's no definitive proof of this, but there's probably also more content to cover, as sessions no longer include, say, interactive segments which would burn through time. The space is instead filled with more content to cover, or to go away and do in your own time, which would normally be done as a group there and then. So to deal with this, I recommend experimenting as early as possible. Now everybody's different and you've got to find the right method for you. A lot of the pre-recorded lectures have buttons on them, which will dictate the speed you can play at, be that 1 time speed, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, 2, etc. That will let you increase the speed that the lecture is played back to you. It would almost certainly be worthwhile experimenting with these different features, and that would be something unique to you, down to your preferences, down to your ability to digest information. You may prefer the faster speed, you may prefer the normal speed. All you need to do is just look at the length of the lecture, see how long it took you to get through one part, and then try a different part at a different speed and see how long it took you to get through that bit. So say if one module had an hour's worth of pre-recorded screencasts to get to, you could split it into 10-minute segments, do the first and the fourth one at 1 time speed, do the second and the fifth one at 1.5 times speed, and do the third and sixth one at 2 times speed. Noting your start time and your finish time to see how long it took you to get through each 10-minute section. That will then hopefully highlight the speed at which you can get through the work the most efficiently. And it might be that for more difficult topics you prefer a slower speed, and for those that are easier that you're just glossing over, just ramp it up a bit. Or conversely, you can experiment by telling yourself you're not going to go back at any point in the lecture, meaning you're not going to rewind at any time, you're not going to stop it, you're just going to play it straight through. And then at the end, reflect on those notes compared to the notes you usually make when you stop and pause whenever you feel you want to. See the differences, and was it worth it for the time saving? Will it have forced you to be more efficient in your note taking, or will it just have made you miss some points out? Again, that's going to be completely down to you as the individual. Tip number 2 is to keep on top of the work you have to do. This all boils down to creating a schedule for yourself. Now, I covered this in my last video, tip number 4, and it took most of the video up like it was the crucial point of that video. And that'll be linked up above right about now. It's just key to know what you have to do, when it's in by, what exactly you have to do for that part, and just keep on top of everything. Especially in this COVID-19 dominated world where you can't just bump into people who remind you, oh, this is due in next week, oh, this is due in a fortnight. You don't have those little nudges, reminders. It's essential you take care of yourself for it. Make it clear to yourself what work you have to do that week. It will help you not just to cope, but to thrive. Also, don't forget to build in other things to your schedule, not just studying. Get out, get off the screen, get some fresh air, anything. Just get doing other things, but I cover this all again in tip 4 of my last video, linked above previously. On this though, make sure you don't succumb to Parkinson's law, which is the theory that the more time you allocate to a task, the longer it will take you to get through it. So if you only give yourself one task to do that week, you'll take a lot longer at it than you would if you'd given yourself lots of tasks. But do balance this and not try and force yourself to conform to unrealistic expectations, like say reading 500 pages of academic literature a day, which I once told myself I was going to do. Moving on, tip number 3, that is to move away from a negative mindset. A lot of the things I recommend on this channel start with experimentation, and of course, not every experiment will go right for you every single time on the first attempt. It could be that COVID-19 has brought on a new style of assessment that you're not used to dealing with, that doesn't suit your style. You have to try different things for this. You can't stick to your old routine because your old routine isn't assessed anymore. You have to try new things. And if they go wrong, just don't self-destruct. Just take a step back, evaluate, okay, where is it? They should have highlighted the areas you can improve. What is it I can do to improve in these areas? And go from there. Break it down step by step in that evaluative stance. So you can begin to head in that right direction, step by step, not leap by leap. This links in very closely with tip number 4. that is to accept that university assessments will have changed with COVID-19. What I mean by this is that for me at least, our examinations now will be online and there'll be 23 hours an open book. Now that's not the same for everybody, but the general theme is that universities are going online with their exams, as it's not safe to congregate in large numbers during the COVID-19 pandemic. The key to this is understanding that it's open book, meaning the university knows that you have your resources in front of you. You have the lecture slides, you have everything that you could want. You get very few points for simply regurgitating what the lecturer has told you. Yes, you might pass, but you won't go much further than that probably. It means knowledge recall is not worth anywhere near as much as it was during closed book exams. So first of all, when it comes to revision, it means you should spend a lot less time learning, say, equations and how to formulate them, and rather when to apply them, how to apply them, what they will show you, etc. Secondly, it also hints that you should spend more time preparing your essays and perfecting your essay structure. Ali Abdaal did a video on this that summarised it brilliantly, and that was all about how he got ranked first at Cambridge University for his essay structure. And I'll link that up above now if you want to check that out. He gives you a great formula you can base your essay on to hopefully get a few more marks and smash this university year. It's also worth spending time expanding your wider knowledge, learning how your different modules all fit and interlink with one another, as well as wider application to what's going on in practice, what's changing, what's happening, how's it different to the theory. And a lot of this involves reading and reading substantial amounts. So if this is something you struggle with, like I do, I did a video on this recently, which I'll link up above now, titled How to Get Through University Reading Lists, which should help you do exactly that. Tip number 5, and that is to understand people are there for you, you're not on your own in isolation. If you're struggling to cope with university work, or generally with more deeper problems, there are always people to reach out to that will be there for you. More informally, there are students who are probably going through similar things that you are. I've learnt this in particular with one of my modules, Statistics and Quantitative Techniques, where I thought I was really behind, I wasn't going to be able to cope, I didn't know what I was going to do to get through it. And speaking to other students, I was in the exact same boat as them. In fact, in some cases I was better off. It's all about them, we worked together and motivated one another to do the work, and we built the camaraderie that you could normally build in person in a non-COVID-19 dominated world. But further, if there are more personal problems, your university will always have somebody in place who you can talk to and go to, somebody who is genuinely concerned for your welfare, and they're only a Google search and a phone call or an email away. Now, if you're at the University of Reading and in the Henley Business School, this person is Melissa Ward. She's honestly one of the most lovely humans I've ever met. She can't do enough for you, she seems like she genuinely cares about you, she's there, she wants to help you. And I can't thank her enough for it, because it's just comforting knowing she's there. If anything does go wrong, she's there to help. It's so important not to bottle things up. Release the pressure valve before things go boom. Going back to chatting with other students though, if you feel comfortable, please reach out to as many people as possible. So when we do return to campus, it'll just give you that extra buzz, that extra talk about the place. University is meant to be some of the best years of your life. Don't let COVID-19 pull that down. Tip number 6 is just to allow for tech misfunctions. That applies to both your own tech and the tech of others. Such a rapid change has been placed upon us in such a short period of time due to COVID-19 that not everybody is adapted and not everything works 100% of the time. You just have to bear with one another. If it means meeting 10 minutes early to check everything's okay with the tech, then brilliant. If you get through everything as planned, you finish 10 minutes early. If not, then you should still be on schedule. That's about all today. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more content like this about university life, student insights, then please subscribe. As always, thank you very much for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.